What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew 2. And well, as y'all know, the Episode 2 Blizzard Rush update did come out today, also bringing us new summits as well to mess around with, guys. So the first one, the Rabbids Party of the Legends. So I think this one's going to be pretty interesting. In Platinum, we have the Chilling Rabbids tire, which is probably going to look absolutely hilarious on many of the vehicles. I can't wait to see how that's going to look. And then in gold, we have the Ford F-150 SVT Raptor Monster Truck Edition. So I would say most players probably already own this truck. So if you do, you will get the money back for that. And then moving over to silver, guys, we're going to have a Nitro Chemist boosted set for the monster truck class as well, which I think this can also be very helpful because a Nitro Chemist set on the monster trucks is actually very helpful. The main reason for that is if we do have a race or something like that, this is by far going to be the best set to use on the monster trucks in those events. So I would definitely recommend going after that. But moving over to the next summit is going to be Wacky Snow Ride, giving us a very interesting looking older car, the Proto Hup 1 Clumsy Edition. Looking forward to seeing how that thing is actually going to handle. But in gold, we will have the other part for the Nitro Chemist set for the monster truck class, so that's definitely going to be pretty close together. And looking at this summit, guys, I would say this one's going to be pretty fun. You do get to test out that car as well. We're going to have a drift event and also an Alpha GP race in the lovely RB14, so that's definitely going to be a blast. But moving over to the next summit, the Winter Runner is going to give us a sled rooftop, which is kind of interesting, but also might look kind of cool on some of the vehicles in the game. We will definitely have to take a look at that. And then in gold, we have the Ford F-150 SVT Raptor Evo 2. So if you guys do own this vehicle, once again, you will luckily get the money back for that. But moving over to the next summit, I would say is going to be kind of a surprise. And one thing I did notice, by the way, guys, with this season is it looks like a lot of the vehicles will be returning. So if you guys did miss any of these, this is definitely an opportunity to get these back. So it's going to be the Porsche Cayman GT4 Wasp Edition. This is by far a very awesome looking car for one, but it has some of the best handling in the street class. The only unfortunate thing is the top speed on it's a little bit lower than like the Superleggera, but luckily the handling is definitely going to make up for that. And then in gold, we have the legendary half set boosted, which is a score breaker set for the Alpha GP cars. To be honest, I would say both of the affixed stats on that set are by far going to be insanely useless, though. You will definitely want skilled on that, but if you guys don't have a score breaker set for this class, I would definitely recommend going after that. The Alpha GP cars are actually insanely good on slaloms, and they're also very easy to use because of their handling. And then finally in silver, we're going to have the yellow tire, which would probably look kind of hilarious on the Porsche Cayman GT4. And now moving over to the summit this week, guys, starting off here with the Buoy Smash. So for this one, I once again ran the Vector V40R. I really do feel like this is probably one of the best boats for these type of skills because of the handling. I also run the Vector on basically every slalom as well. I'm not saying like the 1414 Demon is bad. I just feel like the Vector has a lot better handling when it comes to like being able to maneuver faster and all that. The Demon's definitely going to be an absolute monster when it comes to like escapes and stuff like that because of the speed, but I really do feel like the Vector has the handling over that boat. But moving over to the next skill is going to be an escape, and for this one, I ran the lovely Red Bull RB14, guys. This thing is honestly absolutely incredible after this update. I highly recommend trying out this car if you have not. I do feel like an Alpha GP vehicle is probably going to be your best choice on this escape, mainly because of all the turns and all that are on this one. So the Alpha GP cars are a really good option. One thing I really do like about the Red Bull is the fact that the stability and handling is honestly going to be almost unmatched now. And then moving over to the last skill this week is going to be a slalom once again. So for this one, guys, I picked the Ducati Panigale R. One good thing about these, though, is if they are on a racetrack, you can basically run any vehicle of your choice. So you guys can run a touring vehicle, an Alpha GP, a hypercar, a street car. All of them are luckily going to work on these. So at least you do have a lot of options with these, and you can still easily score around 155,000 points using basically any class. And now moving over to the first event is going to be a monster truck race. And for this one, guys, it's going to be the Wide Wide West. So you're basically driving a monster truck through the desert, but it's luckily going to be pretty fun. The only things you really have to watch out for on this one are most likely going to be the trees, they really do pop out of nowhere, let me tell you. But I would recommend trying out the Ford Mustang GT as well. I feel like this might be one of the best overall monster trucks in the entire game, and it's also obtainable for everybody to actually buy this one as well. It has really nice handling and stability, and even a pretty dang high top speed. And then moving over to the next event is going to be a street race where you actually get to drive the new Nissan GTR Nismo. What's kind of funny is I really haven't used this car that much in the past, but I'm actually pretty dang impressed with this vehicle. I did mention back in the day in that video that I really do feel like the GTR is actually a really good car overall, and I really do feel like it's basically showing its true self in this event, guys. So I would recommend trying out my settings on this vehicle, which might look kind of odd at first, but my goodness, can the GTR fly around a corner. And moving over to the next event, you guys will have to drive the newly released Porsche 928 S4. I'm not going to lie though, from first impressions of this car from this event, I'm honestly not really liking this thing too much, but I will be testing it out more. Definitely stay tuned for a review video on this car coming later on this week. I wouldn't say the car is honestly awful, but I can definitely see some flaws with it from using it. I will go over more of that in the video with it, but overall guys, if you are running manual, I would be careful going into 5th gear around corners. I would try to go into 3rd and shift back up to 4th and hit your nitrous. I really do feel like that's going to be one of the best ways to keep the speed up, because this car doesn't seem like the fastest thing out there. And then moving over to the next event's going to be a hypercar race, and for this one it's going to be on one of the new events as well, so it's going to be the One Shall Remain. And I did actually use the Bugatti Divo on this, but to be honest guys, I would say a Bugatti might not actually be the best choice on these races, mainly because of the turning and all that. I was actually going to redo this event because of where I screwed up in it, but I was like, you know what? Let's leave that in there to show how the stability of these Bugattis really can be an issue. Overall, I would say the Divo is still going to be a really great contender, even against the Super Sport 300 Plus. And then moving over to the next event's going to be a jet sprint race, and for this we have definitely not seen one of these in a minute. But guys, I would say the best jet sprint boat to use on this is by far going to be the Proto rocket. I really don't think any of the other ones really can compare to how the rocket actually feels, and not only that, this thing's also going to be insanely quick as well. I also like how it handles, so I would definitely say the rocket's probably going to be your best option. And if I had to guess in the leaderboards, this is most likely the only boat you're going to see. And moving over to the final event in the summit, you guys will have to use a monster truck in a street event. And I'm sure upon first glance, you're probably like, oh man, this is going to be a nightmare. But no need to worry, guys. I was also wondering the same thing. But to be honest, this race is luckily going to be pretty simple with a monster truck, and I was noticing they really weren't struggling on this event, which was definitely one of my concerns doing a street event in one of these monster trucks, but luckily this one's really not going to be all that bad. And for an overall pick, I would definitely recommend trying out the Ford Mustang GT. I really do feel like this is going to be one of the better overall monster trucks in the game. But besides that, guys, that will basically do it for this summit. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions at all, and let's jump right into this.
you